guys, welcome back to another video. So because Miss Foodie Beauty has mentioned the binge code recently, I thought it would be fun to go back in time and look at the first mention of the binge code that she did. This is back from July of 2018. This video is called No More Juice or Water Diets or something like that. It's about 20 minutes long, so I thought we can kind of get into it. If you haven't seen this yet, let's get to.
Hello, Foodie Beauties.
Sam, I'm trying to juice, Sam. And now I have to wash those kiwis again, Sam. Sam. Oh, yes. I know what you want, big boys.
That's their kitchen table, by the way.
Yeah. You have to be on a table every time. Yes, you do, big boys. Bees and behaviors.
I know Sam's adorable, but
I'm not skinny yet. Hey guys, hey! Welcome back to my channel.
look at that, guys. Chantal in 2018. Do you see the difference? Now, yes, she still was using filters, obviously, but they were not quite the same as they are now. You could see her hair. This is her natural hair. You could see where her chin looks like. And supposedly she weighs less now than she does here. So just keep that in mind.
Oh, I'm not skinny yet. The trash bag background is back. I hate this bra. The bra strap always slides down. So I have a lot to talk about today. So this is going to be a sit down and talk type of video.
This is the real color of her eyes, in case you were curious and you can't tell anymore what color her eyes are. This is her real color of eye.
So if that's not your thing, I don't know. May not want to watch, I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about some updates on how I'm doing with, the whole food addiction thing, everything like that. Some steps that I've been taking. Just basically, I haven't updated you since the whole smoothie diet thing. So, yeah. So I've learned a lot.
Have you learned a lot? Because we're back here again 6 years later.
This has just been like a mind fuckery, for lack of a better term. This whole journey, this whole thing so far, more than any time in my life, because I feel like I'm just really confronted more with, I'm just really more conflicted now, and things are just like at a boiling point in my life, and I'm just coming to a lot of realizations. I don't know if I'm like growing up.
No.
I don't know if anyone is like this, but sometimes I feel like I'm so immature, and I just keep thinking like, was one day I'm just gonna wake up and I'm gonna be an adult, like, hey, I don't know. I don't think it works like that. I think it's just...
She was in her mid-30s here, you guys. Mid-30s. And she's still wants to wake up and become an adult. Like, Arrested Development much?
It's like learning from experiences in life, like learning from mistakes. It's when we don't learn from mistakes and continually do them over and over. I mean, if eventually you learn from them, you've grown as a person, Anyways.
Have you learned from your mistakes, Chantal? Because clearly you have not. We're back to the binge code.
I'm going to try not to digress. I don't have it's just going to be all over the place, basically. So, my face right now, let me explain. It's very red. I gave myself a facial, and I have very sensitive skin, so the mask that I used, I got a free mask from Lush, and this one in particular doesn't agree with my skin. It's the... I don't even remember the name, actually, but anyway, so that's why my skin is red and I don't have any makeup on it, just to give it a break. And my hair, I did get it fixed, but I still look like a Puritan. Like, I have that, I don't know, like pilgrim 12-year-old boy look.
It's this part. It needs to be straighter or curlier. It's like wavy, and it's not doing her any favors. That's just my opinion, though.
Going on. I'm gonna have to I don't know. Anyway, okay, so
But there's the widow's peak, you guys. Look, it's back. It's the real one. It's not the shadow one, like the campsite.
me start with the smoothie diet. I did that. I started that on July 5th, I believe, and I did it for a couple of days. It was fine, and then I caved. I caved hard. I was craving. I had a specific craving. It was for these. There's a grocery store.
This is not her cycle. We know her cycle. This is not it.
In Ottawa that makes these huge pizza buns. They're like pizza buns. They have like pizza sauce on them and like lots of cheese. So I drove at like 1 in the morning to this 24-hour grocery store just to get those buns.
That's such an effort. You know, like you have to understand too, when you binge like that, especially when you have a huge binge monster on your back like Chantal does, just having to leave the house in the middle of the night, probably, you know, whatever time of the day or night it was, but it's just to go get something. It's so much effort, you know. It's just a lot of effort if you think about it. It takes a lot of time and energy to stay fat. It really does.
And I ate 3 of them, and they're pretty big. So, and then I thought, okay, you know, I'm just going to get back on it. And there's a learning process here, so don't worry. That's why I'm retelling this to you. I know you're rolling your eyes, probably a lot of you, but the next day decided to get back on the smoothie diet. It was
so back in 2018, she knew people were already sick of her shit, right? Now it's 6 years later. Same people here, still sick of her shit.
Going well, you know, and then the next day I caved, and you know, I
don't think anyone's ever said no to her in her life except maybe Nodder. Honestly. And I think she has a little bit of respect for him because he told her no. As sick as that sounds, that's like a theory of mine.
I think BB was working and I was alone, and it was like I had the car and it was just me the night, and I decided to drive 200 kilometers, almost 200 kilometers, about a 2-hour drive to this place I was telling you about. Do you remember I posted something like I want an orange julep? So I drove all the way to get, oh my gosh, they have this like creamy orange drink.
Can you imagine driving 4 hours for like a fast food meal? That is insanity. That to me is just, I know I know she's crossed the border into the US to go to like fast food places in upstate New York, but
It's kind of like an Orange Julius, but a bit different. They have jumbo veggie dogs, and they had like a combo with like a drink, 2 veggie. It was like a jumbo veggie dogs and poutine, and it was like
poutine,
like Quebec poutine. So it's like
poutine,
like the best poutine.
Poutine.
It was so good, and I just put on my. It was the middle of the night, and it was like I put on a YouTube video like on my dashboard. It was like that cannibal guy, or Ermin Mavis or Muse or whatever. He's German. He ate that guy's wiener. Anyway, so I was watching like crime documentaries. I listened to my audiobooks.
This is her on her way to a 4-hour binge fest. Jesus. What a depraved life this lady lives.
Listening to The Shining. It was very pleasurable for me. And
not as pleasurable as that meal was in your belly, though, I bet.
Yeah, that's the type of food addict I am. I'm obsessive, and it was just like an escape, you know? It was like intimate. I was by myself.
That's where she really wants to be. She wants to have a man when she wants him, but really all the time she'd much rather be by herself. 100%. Even when she was like head over heels with Nodder in the beginning, she was still like, I just had to come home just for a little bit, you know, like she needs her privacy, and she doesn't like, whatever.
You know, and yeah, I told BB about it. You know, he You know, guys, a lot of people will ask me, like, does your boyfriend support you? He does, but he doesn't understand food addiction. He has no idea what he's dealing with. Like, he doesn't really get it, you know?
That's why you need the help of a professional, but you refuse. So here we are, 6 years later.
And I think he's there for emotional support if I need it, but he doesn't know how to proactively be like, okay, you know, like, it's not, he's just not that type of person. He doesn't have any experience with that. And I think that's all I'm going to say, because we really do just prefer to keep our relationship out of the public eye. And I'm sure you can imagine why. So anyways, so that being
So stop bringing it up. No one would know anything unless you brought it up.
said, that was a flop. And then I decided to go from, was successful the last couple of days of the smoothie diet. I decided to try, and I did post some of it, like bits and pieces of this on Instagram, but I decided to try. I said, okay, I'm going to go into a new plan of eating, Plan Z, and that is based on what I'm reading in the Binge Code.
There it is, the Binge Code. There it is.
So then I decided I'm going to do a 3-day juice detox. Yes, I know, you can roll your eyes. I deserve this one. And, you know,
How'd that go for you? How'd the 3-day juice detox go for you, Miss Chantal?
And I'm stubborn with that, because there's people who do it. And then I came to the realization that there's not one size fits all when it comes to this stuff. What somebody is able to do in one respect, somebody else might be a failure at. And I need to stop comparing myself to other people and what other people can do, where other people are at in their life, in their weight loss journey, and focus on something that's going to work for me, because nothing has worked. Nothing.
Because you have never tried.
You know? Sam, don't attack that, Sam, please. Ugh, he's pissing. Anyways.
You know, it's funny. I always thought this about Chantal, especially when she was younger, like in these videos from this time period. Not to be a dick, but she could almost see the person Chantal could have been. Especially in these videos where she's younger and life hasn't hit her as hard as it will in the future, right? You could almost see the woman she was supposed to be, right? It almost is just a perfect outline. I bet, you know what? I'm going to say this. Physically, I bet she would have a pretty face. I really do. If she had lost the weight back then, I bet she would have had a really pretty face. Because it's crazy what your extra weight will do to your face, right? People always post like before and after pictures of their weight loss, which is fantastic. And I get it. They're proud, and 100% I get it. But it's also interesting to see like how their face changed, because usually they end up like looking younger and better when their face like slims up. So I just think if she had lost the weight, now I don't think there's any hope for her. I think everything is just going to sag. She's not going to take care of herself. She's just going to trade one ugly body in for another, I feel like. But I think she would have had more of a shot at having a pretty face back then if she had actually taken her health seriously.
Attacking my journal. My new journal. And by the way, I don't know, a lot of people will ask me how many journals I have. I have one journal, okay? Just one. It's like a notepad, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, so I decided to try this juice thing. I posted all the ingredients. I went out and got these new mason jars. I bought like $60 worth of produce. It is a pain in the ass to juice. It is like so a pain in the ass. It's expensive. So $60 got me 1 day's worth of juices.
Jesus, can you imagine?
And I made them.
Oh my
Did
God.
day one. So day one, at the end of day one, I don't know if Sam, please.
And this is pre-diabetes. I bet she was already pre-diabetic probably for years and years. But just imagine drinking macerated fruit smoothies as a pre-diabetic on top of everything else she was hiding and eating. You know what I mean? I'm really surprised she's been able to hold off the diabetes demons this long, to be honest.
Sam, people want to see you, Sam. Oh.
Oh God,
Hi, big
Chantal.
boy.
You miss Sam, so I don't know if it's the mixture of juice I made. I made like it had celery, cucumber, grapefruit, apples, lemon, ginger. So a lot of ingredients that are made to further pull out toxins from your body. You know, and a lot of people say, well, how come, you know, the liver detoxes your body and the kidneys? Sure, but when you like pollute your body so much like I do, your
This is diet advice coming from this woman out of her mouth, her words. Okay.
liver and kidneys become diseased.
She has, by the way, just for a reminder, she has got severe, extreme, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. But preach about liver health to us, Chantal.
And don't function properly as properly as they should, and they need a break. You know, they detox your body. What detoxes those organs? You know, so it's just a help. So these fruits and vegetables really aid in that, and I think going from eating very toxic into a like hardcore juice cleanse like that is really not a good idea, especially when you're extremely addicted to food in a physical sense as well. I had bad withdrawals.
It's all in your head. You're not hungry. You haven't been hungry in years.
I had the worst headaches that kept coming back. I would use peppermint oil. It would work for a time, and then they would come back. I was nauseous, worst diarrhea, so moody.
Too fucking bad. So fucking what? Go sit on the toilet and cry and rage, and who cares? Just ride it out. Jesus Christ, I've never seen a bigger pansy, just nerd. Oh, it hurts. Just one of those people. You just don't like them. You just look at them and are like, ugh, you know, just quit your bitching and do it, or shut the frick up and go eat yourself to death. Just stop riding the fence. One or the other, right? At this point.
Just miserable. Like I thought I was like, I would just pass out like for a couple hours at a time.
She'd pass out.
Just to like escape, you know. I don't know if I was hungry. I can't tell. I don't know if that's another reason why I wanted to do this whole juice cleanse. I don't really know. I don't think I know what it is to be hungry versus having a craving or an urge to binge. So that was a flop, and that can all be explained. I decided this was collecting dust. I had bought this and I thought, you know what? I'm going to really give it a try. And so far, guys, this has been...
Are those her notes from her therapist?
The most helpful thing in my journey so far. This is so amazing. Like, this is a Bible. You need to purchase this. I would highly recommend it.
Again, please don't ever take any kind of advice about healthy eating or exercise from this woman on the screen. In case you needed to hear it, in case you just were wondering if there is a chance for her, there is not. There is no chance. Don't get sucked into her vortex.
So many things that make sense, and it's tailored specifically to people. I keep spitting at the camera. To people who have eating disorders. And it doesn't matter if you're bulimic, is any type of relationship with food that is, you know, an unhealthy, you go on binges, and it is really, really, really good. I don't have time to like go over everything there, but I haven't
Please don't.
finished the whole book. I'm about halfway done.
I don't think Chantal's read a whole book in her entire life, unless it was like a kid's book when she was little. That's about it. I don't think she's ever read a whole book.
Even in that, there's the Zen 10 technique, where when you have an urge to binge, it explains where the physiological, that fight or flight response comes from. And if when you have an urge, you have to take Zen 10, you take 10 minutes and do breathing exercises and just, picture yourself as this strong person. There's an actual technique to it. The one thing that made the most sense for me in this whole thing was that the diets do not work. So this author said, if you undereat, you're going to overeat. So for people who are binge eaters and get the urge to binge. And it's so true, because anytime I do these juice cleanses, anytime I do these fasts, I eat and then some. I just go crazy and I'm like ravenous.
Because you try to make up for what you didn't get to eat during the time you were trying to restrict. That's why. But again, just talk to yourself. Give yourself some grace. Talk to yourself. Tough love's what she needs. That's it. That's it. I bet if anybody could have got her ass into shape, it would have been not her. For sure.
And I'm like mindless. It's just so mindless. And I get it now, because your body is meant to eat. Your body is like, this is, I'm gonna have to do this.
Listen to her justify everything right now.
Until I can get a grip on the eating disorder. And I know, yes, I'm getting help with the emotional part of things, as the psychological side of things as well. For the physiological and the whole way I'm eating, diets don't work. If you're depriving your body of a food group like low carb, etc., it's not going to work.
How do you know you've never deprived yourself of anything except common sense?
Because our bodies are made to have certain food groups to function properly. The brain, for example, functions off of carbohydrates, according to this book.
So why is your brain so smooth? Because we know you love a carb. Bitches need carbs, right? So,
and they suggest eating 6 times a day, every 3 hours or so, smaller meals or 3 meals and smaller snacks. And each time you eat, it should to be fully satisfied, so you don't get the urge. This is a binge away type of diet that's tailored to make you not want to binge and to make you feel satisfied, but still eat like a normal person. Eat nutritiously, because if you're not eating nutritiously and
tell us about eating nutritiously right now. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys. After she, yeah. I just made the video about the snack grocery haul. So coming off that into this, it's a big like downshift. I have to shift gears a little bit to like get my brain where her brain kind of is in this, and it's just so ridiculous, you guys. What a farce. Fatty farce.
you're lacking in your diet, your body is going to want to compensate for that somehow. So I think that if you eat enough, they say don't focus on weight, which is why I'll get to the weight in a second, but I have not weighed myself, and I'll tell you why. But basically, it allows your body to just get back to its set point. It's called the set point, or a goal weight. It's what your body is naturally supposed to be at. That can fluctuate between like 20 or so pounds, but there's a set point your body is made for, and everyone is different. And what they say the macros for...
Chantal, can you tell me what a macro is? I bet she can't.
This way of eating that would be the most successful is 50% carbohydrate in every meal, a complex carbohydrate. So
stop focusing on the carbohydrates. Focus on the protein and the vegetables. That's all you need to focus on. Fuck the carbohydrates. You don't need them. Trust me when I say you've had enough carbs to last you a lifetime. If you never eat another carb again, you will never miss it. Your body will never know it's gone. They might even thank you.
To say why carbs are not bad.
Anything she could find, any piece of information she could find that fits the narrative that she wants to portray in this moment in time on her channel, that's what she'll cling to, right? That's why her cycles change so quickly, because she finds out, oh, this isn't working, I gotta try something out. Like, it's all snake oil salesman bullshit, basically.
So basically, complex carbohydrate, like a whole grain, food in its naturalist form. Fruits and vegetables are complex carbohydrates. So you have a complex carbohydrate, 50% of your meal makeup would be 50% of a complex carbohydrate. Then 25% would be a protein, and 25% would be a fat. So if you combine all of those things, your body is getting a bit of everything. It's not being deprived. And That's
God forbid she deprives herself. I know I keep saying that, but I just keep coming back to that. It's just such a silly thing to be so. She's going to die on that hill because she doesn't want to restrict anything, make her own discomfort a tiny little bit. It just blows my mind. Part of the journey is feeling the pain. So you can remember, look at how hard it was to get where I am. I don't ever want to go back, right? That keeps my ass in check. So when I see the scale creep up like 3 or 4 pounds, I'm like, oh shit, I better start getting back on it because I am not going to do that again. But that's part of the process, right? That makes the sweet moments even sweeter because you know what you've been through. You've been through the fire. Okay. I don't care what anybody says. If you were once fat and now you're hating on fat people for being fat, you have every right to, because you know exactly what it's like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying hate on them like, like crazy hate, but you know what I'm saying. You're allowed to have an opinion on other fat people if you were once fat. In fact, I'd rather hear from someone who used to be fat who is now healthy rather than someone who's always been thin or someone who has never lost weight like Chantal. You know what I'm saying? That's just me though.
how I really want to try and eat. As for veganism, I think that is also very restrictive right now. So what I've started on doing is just eliminating certain.
Remember when she pretended to be vegan for like a week and then came back and was like, guys, I've been binging on chicken this whole time.
Food items from my diet, so in animal food. So for now, I'm eliminating pork and beef and other. I don't eat anything other than that anyway. Like deer or anything, I wouldn't eat that. But pork and beef for now are a no-go.
But I bet you're still eating pepperoni, aren't you? Aren't you, big girl?
So, mostly vegetarian, maybe like seafood, poultry for now, just till I can slowly adapt.
Okay. Poultry is not being vegetarian, Chantal. Just so you know there.
Because I'm really, and I know a lot of people have criticized me with this before, but I go all in and then I fail. And, I think that just really taking it slower and having a reasonable plan is what I need to do. And this book has really helped me realize that. And it's very practical. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to eat as nutritiously as possible, often throughout the day. And still, make sure you're not eating too many calories. But the focus is not on this weight loss. It's not a weight loss journey. It's not a race to get to a certain weight. It's
for you at this point. Yes, it's an absolute sprint. An absolute sprint. Also, I heard a crazy fact this morning about people who like sprinting in general, like running quickly, like a sprint. They said that 90% of people over the age of 30 will never sprint again in their life. And I don't know why, but that hit me really hard. And I was like, when was the last time I actually tried to run as fast as I can? I can't even remember. I just thought that was very, very strange and just a crazy factoid I just wanted to share with you guys. But no, Chantal, you're running out of time. You're 100%. It is a race. You better get on it because TikTok.
A process of healing and getting back to normal, back to a normal set point, and not depriving your body of food.
She's never been a normal, healthy weight in her life. And listen, I know what it feels like. I did sports in high school, so I was very active and I was pretty physically fit, but I was a big girl. I was big. And I remember, what was it? I think it was freshman year. So you're what, 15? We had to get weighed for field hockey. And this was the first time a whole new school, and it was like a regional school. So there was like 3 or 4 other schools that we had never met before, like kids we had never met before. So it was kind of a new vibe. And they weighed us for field hockey in the summer. And instead of calling us into the nurse's office, they took one of the classrooms, an empty classroom, and weighed us all in front of each other. And I just remember standing there and I was just like, this is so god awful embarrassing. And I thought, like, I'm trying to, like, field hockey was brand new to me. They didn't offer it in 8th grade, but in 9th grade they did. So I was like, I'm going to try this. This looks like fun. It really made me not want to play because I didn't want to be in line. So basically what I did was, like, I was talking to one of my friends and we kind of like hung back and we were like one of the last people to go. And I remember I was 225 when I was 15. And granted, I've always been this tall. I'm 5'9". I am a lot taller than Chantal, but I was 225 at 15. I lost weight after that, being in field hockey, funnily enough. But I get it. I understand what it's like to always be the fat girl, right? It sucks. It really, really does. You miss out on a lot of things, and it's one of those things. But she's never been healthy. She doesn't know what it feels like, so she doesn't know what she's missing. And I'm sorry I was so long-winded with that personal story. I'll continue.
Because that's a disaster, especially if you're a binge eater. So basically, that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'll show you guys what I'm eating, do different vlogs like that. Now, weigh-in, I'm not going to do a weigh-in for a little while. I want to give this time to my body to adapt to this weight. I don't want to get discouraged or overly criticized by a number on the scale. You know, people are just very dismissive and critical, like, oh no, you gained 5 pounds, you're a failure. I don't need that in my journey. If you're just here to criticize me, I'm sorry. If you're just here to be petty, if you're just here to try to kick me when I'm down, and you know, if you don't understand food addiction and the struggles, then I'm sorry.
A lot of her audience does understand food addiction because a lot of her audience was on the same kind of journey that she was on, that she is still on. The difference is a lot of her audience has met their goals and have moved on. And now look at her as the cautionary tale that she is.
Like, yes, some of it was more just for sensationalism, like bookbongs, pigging out on stuff. I was going to probably pig out anyways. I was at a low point, so I decided to film it and be honest, you know. But if that's not for you, then if you want to watch. But if you're just going to be critical in the comments, I'm just going to block you like I always do. So, anyways, that's it. I'm not going to weigh I'm also menstruating. I've been menstruating for like a week now.
Oh, God. Gross. Can you imagine if she still had her period every month? Because she got a full hysterectomy, right? So she doesn't have anything, no more periods. So I wonder what she would be like if she would be... I wonder what her hormone, like, blood panel must look like. I'd love to get my hands on that. That sounds crazy, but I really want, like, I'm really curious what her hormone levels look like.
It's very regular, my periods, until I get this regulated, you know, the hormonal thing regulated. I don't think it's really good to weigh yourself whenever you're menstruating. I won't ever do that again because, like, it's discouraging, you know, so...
True. I try to avoid doing that when I have my little friend every month. So yeah, I get it. You're allowed to have some grace and be kinder to yourself during certain times of the month. 100%.
I think I'm making some proper steps. Also, to help with the hormone regulation, another practical thing I'm going to do is I really want to start putting on my Fitbit again and walking every day. So they suggest here, it's suggested to start off when you're really heavy, because it feels like I'm back at,
you know, when she starts burping like that, like she just did, that's because she just fed. That is her telltale sign that she has just binged. Just FYI.
Just at the start. But I'm going to do 5 minutes of a just moderate pace to warm up, and then I'm going to do 5 minutes of like a brisker walk, and then in 5 minutes, back to a slower pace to warm down. And each week down. Or so, you can increase, each week you increase the brisk walking by 2 minutes. So that's going to be my focus for now. And those are just some of the practical things I'm doing. So then
she never got out of the slow walking stage. Let that sink in. This video is 6 years old. She has never gotten out of the slow walking initial stages of exercise. I don't know how anybody is still on her side. She is just full of shit in every way. You know what I mean?
The new way of eating. And I think that I feel relieved because I feel like it's not restrictive. Like I'm not going to be, oh no, what am I, how is my body going to handle this? It's going to be getting nutritious food every couple of hours or every 3 hours in the day, so I'll have breakfast at 8:30, and then eating.
This is food aggression. This is talking about planning your meals before the day is even like, it's just food aggression. Different types, but definitely food aggression.
Again at 10:30.
Talking about it and thinking about it is cathartic. 100% for her. This is all catharsis for her.
Or something like that, a small snack or
because if she can't have it, the next best thing is to watch it or talk about it.
Whatever. So it's just going to be, I'm going to come up with that. I have to really sit down and come up with meals that have all of those macro groups. So it's going to be a bit, and it's going to be food I like. I'm going to find nutritious food that I like because I do tend to eat a lot of nutritious food that I don't even like just because it's nutritious. So yeah, so I'm going to do this and start this up. And yeah, so I don't know when I'll have a weigh-in. I don't know I know a lot of people, the people who are going to be disappointed by that anyway are just people who just want to see if I've managed to lose weight or not. I'm going to wait and adapt my body a bit, and I will take you on this journey with me, but I am going to do a multitude of other types of videos as well.
Can you imagine going on a journey for 6 years and then ending up 6 years later at the starting point and never having got to a destination? It's like that, what's that Stephen King book, The Long Road, or The Long Walk, or something like that, where they have to constantly keep walking and they're not allowed to stop. That just reminds me of that.
Like cooking, do still want to do some mukbangs. I do want to do some scary things like Mystery Monday. I want to bring that back. So there's a lot I want to do.
Mukbangs and weight loss are not good together.
And I appreciate your patience and everything, through this whole thing with me, guys. I'm a very difficult person, so I really appreciate that. And thank you for watching. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Okay, we'll see you in 6 years, Foodie. Who the fuck is this? Oh my god, you guys. Anyway, that was her Binge Code video from 2018. What did you guys think? Have you seen any growth in Foodie Beauty since then? Because we're trying the same diet again. I'm waiting for the potato diet. I'm waiting for a potato diet. Okay. She's delusional. She is living in her own little world, which is fine. But it's just really interesting to just see how we're just stuck in a loop, aren't we? It's just tales from the loop. That's what it feels like. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I think I'm going to be trying, maybe next week, I might try my hand at my very first live stream. I'm very nervous because I've never done it before, and we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys in the loop in terms of like when I'm planning that out. Hopefully you guys will join me. It's really hard to find a time to do it, but I'm going to see what I can do. I don't want to do it too early, but then it's like, I also don't want to do it like, I know that a lot of people have their set schedules and their reactors that they watch. And it's like, are you guys really going to want to see me react to the same videos that you already saw someone else react to like an hour or two earlier? So I'm just not sure how it's going to play out, but we'll try and we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you being here with me. It's like I have a friend here watching this nonsense with me. So thank you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Au revoir.